Welcome to the video. Today we're going to talk about how we turned on our AI SDR on our trade school clients and we had it work those leads that were falling through the cracks. So we're going to talk about two schools that we turned on our AI for here, and just the first couple days of results we're going to talk through here. So, we kind of let our AI loose, and I kind of say that jokingly. We have two schools. One's a welding school, and we turned it on for leads that were calling in. For this specific welding school, they get about 20 calls, inbound calls directly from our ads, on top of all the other calls, they get. So, the team's fielding a lot of calls. So we wanted to make it much more efficient for them, and most importantly, create more engagement and conversions on the back end. We also had a lineman technician school turn on our AI SDR. And keep in mind, we've been working with trade schools for close to a decade. And as soon as ChatGPT dropped in 2022, we created this AI sales rep, 3-4 years back. And we've been training it since, specifically to engage leads for trade schools and vocational schools. So it's been trained on a lot of conversations, and it's really exciting. We created kind of a case study on it about 2 years back. So this is kind of an update, and there's been a lot of exciting things going on, as you guys know, in the AI field. And we've been making our software, the AI sales rep specifically, that our AI sales rep, just to clarify, can do phone calls, and it's pretty solid. We do have some clients using it, but mainly it's for texting based sales engagement. And that's what these Gen Zs like, right? Especially the younger demographic. So if you run a trade or vocational school, stick around, because missed calls are probably costing you, missed calls, missed follow-ups, costing you a lot of enrollments. So here's the math nobody wants to do, right? Let's say a prospective student calls in, your admissions person is on the other line, it's at lunch, it's 6:40 p.m. They went home, the call goes to voicemail. There's all good reasons why your salespeople and your team can't field the call, for very good reasons. Not because necessarily they're lazy or they're dropping the ball. And the other side, the lead's not just going to sit there and wait for you, right? They're going to pull up the next school on Google, call them around, search around. And as you guys generally know, these studies on speed to lead have shown for years, the odds of ever reaching that lead that first calls you in collapse after the first 5 minutes, not the first day, the first 5 minutes. Every missed call, every slow follow-up, the lead goes cold, and you have enrollments just slipping through the cracks. Especially if you're running ads, you already paid for these leads. You want to juice those leads better. And this is the exact reason why we built this AI salesperson ourselves, because we wanted to help our clients juice the leads better. So we built our own AI SDR, an AI salesperson that does follow-up. Essentially, it's not a chatbot. It's not an automation that lives in a CRM. It's not an off-the-shelf tool. It's not a gimmick. We truly built it with a whole AI development team for years. So here's a couple scenarios. A call comes in, gets missed. Within 2 minutes, our AI is texting that lead back. 2 minutes. We could do it even faster, but we just don't want to seem like an automation, so we delay it a little bit. We play around with a minute or two. Another scenario is it just doesn't text back saying, hey, sorry, missed your call. Like, any automation can do that, right? It works that lead. Whatever information it has on hand, or even does some digging, like as simple as I see the area code is this and they're local versus not local, right? They cater the conversation based on that. Especially if we have a little bit of data, if they filled out a form or something like that, it uses that data to engage the lead. And this follows up on a schedule, not just an automated schedule. It's intelligent. Not all follow-up is the exact same schedule. Now, let me just show you guys, right? So here is the portal of our AI salesperson. The most important thing is the knowledge base. So we build a knowledge base with the client. There's general best practices of how a great salesperson should operate and do follow-ups. So it's all trained in here. How the tonality should be, how the follow-up behavior should be, how it should actually go about, very important, how it should actually go about organizing the CRM once it starts working, right? Updating leads, tasks, making notes, etc. It does all that for you. It also has instructions like real salespeople are going to step in and call and work that lead and text, right? So it steps down in those type of scenarios as well. It's trained on that. It's trained on, when to actually be silent, when to actually go for qualifying the lead. We also talk about some general rules that it should never do. We also talk about when to escalate it to human beings, tonality, how to keep notes, how to categorize things in the CRM. Then we feed it with information about the school, the avatar, what the school is. We have guardrails in place of what it cannot say, should never say, what it should skirt away from, numbers it shouldn't talk about at all. We don't want to be like, hey, you can become a millionaire by doing this, right? Like, we're not trying to say those type of things. We teach it how to qualify the person, things it can answer freely on, things it should escalate. It talks about what the goal is, right? So usually goal is book, do back and forth, warm them up, qualify them, and then book them on the salesperson's calendar, schedule a call. Warm that call up, set it up for the salesperson. That's the ultimate goal of this AI sales rep. Then it's trained on the cadence of follow-up. Obviously, there's guardrails also around. We're not trying to have people get hit up at midnight. We also have different types of follow-up, if a lead is qualified versus not, if it's booked, if it no-showed, depending on where they're at in the pipeline and stage. We also tell it like how to not be annoying. We train it on what the school does specifically. We train it on assets it could pull from. So we give it all the assets of testimonials, case studies about the program, specific knowledge, things that it could be used in the sales process to get people excited. We teach it objections. We fill it with content, exact content, videos, documents it could pull from, reference things to send it to people, but also have it in its knowledge base if it needs to answer questions directly from that. But the articles, it sends articles, videos as follow-up, testimonial videos, credibility, news articles. There's things that we don't want it to send as well. So include that in the content library. And then anything about the brand overall, there's specific things about the brand that we need to make sure the AI knows. We also have a practice portal where you can interact with the AI and practice. So generally how this works is we build the knowledge base. The client signs off on the knowledge base, reviews it, edits it. It practices and engages with the lead, talks to it directly. And then if the client wants, it could go into an approval mode. So it's live, but every message gets reviewed by the client or us before it sends out every message. So we have some clients do that. We have some clients don't do that. So that's how our AI salesperson software works. So let's talk about it. So we had this AI specifically for that welding school. It was live for about a couple days now. It missed about 30 calls. We analyzed 30 calls so far. Of those 30 calls that was missed, 64 messages went out. 7 people texted back. That's a 23% reply rate. So the fastest to reply back after we missed the call was 4 minutes. So you see the importance of speed to lead. Here's an example of how we go about it. That first message is most important, and the AI is constantly trying new first messages, especially based on the information it has about the lead. If it has, goes back and forth. You see some real conversations here. It also has information on the call log. If they had a prior conversation and there's a call transcript, they also see some people call in multiple times. Hey, sorry, missed your call a few times now. So whatever information it has access to, it pulls all that information it has and tries to do engagement contextually. Here's another cool one. Call in, reach out, trying to get her son information about the program. So as you can also see here, this is the approval mode. So every message that comes in, get a little kind of summary of what has happened so far, who it is, it drafts the message. And then if we approve it, we send it out. If we want to tweak it, we tweak it and then have it sent out. So this is the AI, our AI in approval mode before each message goes out. It's pretty cool. So here's another one. This has been live for a shorter amount of time. It's been live for about 3 days now. But it's pretty cool so far. It's been live for about, this sample size is about 2 days. 46 leads came in. So these leads are people who filled out a form off ads, but didn't necessarily schedule a call. So 46 leads who kind of are in between pipeline, in limbo. We had 99 messages sent out to 46 leads. 13 of those 46 texted back, 28% reply rate. We had 3 calls booked by the AI. That's incredible. And also, remember, if someone does reply back to the AI, it's like they're on their phone trying to talk back and forth real time. Whereas if someone texts in, if the salesperson's busy, they might follow up an hour later. The AI, if someone hits them back, it's going back real time. So it hits them back in, on average, 1.8 minutes. And again, we delay it a little bit so it doesn't seem like a robot. So here's some examples of conversations, real conversations that happen. As you can see, sends a message out, goes back and forth. It's asking real questions, real buying questions like, hey, how's housing work? Is it paid training? Tell them this is not a paid training. You're not getting paid to come here. We have housing allowances, blah, blah. This specific person is a military veteran. So it's talking about military benefits, how it works. And the really cool part about this AI is that it doesn't just send the calendar link. It has access to the calendar availability live on the back end. And it just goes back and forth saying like, hey, we have this time is available. And once it's booked, it books it directly on the calendar. They don't have to fill out a form or a booking form. It just books them. They say 10 a.m., boom, it books them on the calendar because it already has access to the name, the lead's email, etc. So the AI is intelligent enough to fill out the booking form for them. Here's another real example. I'm a little bit of older gentleman, but doesn't try to oversell either. So it's an older gentleman. I'm talking about, can I fly back home every weekend? These are real questions people have, and the AI handles it well, like this. It also knows how to stand down again when it talked to somebody on the phone, had a meeting already, because our salespeople are calling these people as well. And the lead say, hey, I just spoke to somebody. They're going to follow up with me Tuesday. Got it. You're in great hands. It stands down. Here's another conversation about housing. Applies. It also sees that calls are booked. Either they booked it themselves or we booked it for them. And it does follow up and confirms the calls. So again, there you have it. In theory that you should respond back to leads faster. And this AI isn't necessarily the most helpful for people who have smaller volume of leads, right? If you have small volume of leads, you need to first increase your lead flow. But for those that have the lead flow and you guys feel like leads are slipping through the cracks or you guys aren't juicing the leads as efficiently, this is incredible. Our AI salesperson is incredible for working leads, trade school enrollment leads. Again, it's been trained for years on conversations like this. The training is built on top of all the conversations that it's had so far. So again, we have actionable, tangible results. Even the first couple days of this being live, it's going to generate millions of dollars for these 2 clients here. And, every client that uses it. And again, we build it out for our clients like this. We have the knowledge base, the practice portal, approval mode, and it goes out and we're constantly reviewing the messages to make it better, to juice the leads better and make your salespeople. This isn't to replace your salespeople. It's to make your salespeople superhuman. It's incredible for that. So there you have it. If you want to explore just more of this AI salesperson, let us know. Hit us back. But we do this for all our clients. We install this for all our clients. It's mandatory and a necessity, and we take it very seriously this year because the upside is huge. Hope you enjoyed that. Take care.